Welcome to Bond SCX. This is week 12, March 21st through March 25th. This is Lance, the Bargain Stock Bounty Hunter. And I am shooting another video to actually go through some best plays of the week. If you're new to my channel, this is kind of how I go through my plays of the week. I'll show a spreadsheet and then I'll go through the charts. And disclaimer before I get started, I am not a financial advisor, nor am I advising anyone to spend their money. This is only for educational purposes and only my opinion. Any money spent is at the individual's own discretion and not due to any information from me. So as usual, as lately, I'm going to start off going through the Nasdaq and the New York Stock Exchange. So let's look at those. Actually, the week turned around for us last week. Kind of projected that coming into the week last week, and so actually turned out to turn to a little bit more of a bullish pattern. So looking at the Nasdaq 1 year, 1 day, I know I've got a lot of lines on here, but just to recap, this is when the war in Ukraine kicked off. You see how the market's been kind of pretty much in a downtrend since then. And as of last week, as I like to pull out the teal line here, this EMA actually crossed over the green, which is a great sign. It's crossed over the red, and we're shooting this video a day after Sunday, which is Monday. I like to shoot these videos typically on Monday, but had a lot going on this weekend, so I didn't get to it. And so Monday's kicked off, and at the close of Monday, you can almost see this teal cross the blue EMA, and these are all projected EMAs: the red, the blue, and the green here. So all three of these are projected EMAs, and the teal is about to cross the blue as of end of day Monday. So that's a good sign. If this crosses the blue and then we get the green and the red to cross the blue, we're back in bullish mode in the market. So great opportunities to buy stocks low the last couple of weeks. I think we're still in a good opportunity to buy some this week. Do see a pullback today. And so it looks like the market's on a positive trajectory in the Nasdaq. And you can see the MACD starting to turn back around on us, which is a great sign. We're 3 days into three green volume, better volume days, buying back in. And so by Friday, I project the market in the Nasdaq to be around the 13.6 to 13.9 range. So maybe into 14,000s, possibly if we're really lucky, if really things go strong this week. But I would expect the market to be pretty good for this week for the Nasdaq. Actually, you can also see these purple lines is what I call the cake range in between here, which is the stronghold of the stock or of the index. And this price or points are back into the cake range, which is a good sign. And again, hopefully this gets back to touch the SMA, which is a simple moving average here in the near future. So I think this week will be good, and we'll check out the New York Stock Exchange. Very similar 1 year, 1 day, looking out. Again, a lot of lines here, very busy. So one thing I wanted to point out, very similar last week, we see the EMA, the teal, cross the green, cross the red, and as of today, it's crossed the blue. So a little bit better sign on the New York Stock Exchange. Then we look at the green and the red are really touching the blue, about ready to cross the blue. And so it's going to show that looks like maybe as of tomorrow, looks like a little bit of a pullback, but it looks like sometime this week, we may get a full bullish sign into the New York Stock Exchange. So both indexes are looking very good at this point. And so I would say the SMA on this one, it's touched off on the SMA today. And if things go well this week, the best case is it could go much higher than SMA, but looks like I'm seeing some resistance in SMA based on today. And so I would be definitely aware of that. That could also mean a pullback down. So it's still positive this week, and based on the last few weeks. But it looks like for me on the New York Stock Exchange, even though I see this touch off, looks like it's about to cross, it looks like it may pull back down. And so I'm looking at possibly by Friday, looking at the 16.4, 16,200 range. So in that range, so it looks like to me what I'm seeing in the New York Stock Exchange, even though it looks like they may cross here, I'm seeing some resistance. And so I think on the New York, it may pull down a little bit more, kind of setting itself up to be almost in line where it was on March the 7th. So not necessarily a bad week on the New York Stock Exchange, but see a little bit more of a pullback here than I do on the Nasdaq. So let's go back to the plays of the week. There are quite a few plays I want to pull out this week. I believe 8 to be exact. And so Vuzix was top on the list last week. It remains top on the list this week as an opportunity. Moving at a trend of a 6, which is a really strong trend. It doesn't get any better for me on a trend than an 8 is the best number you can have on a trend in this spreadsheet. So a 6 is a very strong trend. About 77 cents overpriced, coming in at a true value price of $6.20. So let's go to Vuzix and see where they end up. And Vuzix, remember, is a company that does VR and AR glasses, smart glasses. So looking at a 1 year, 1 day, a lot of volatility, a lot of manipulation in the stock based on how small the cake range is. It's just a quick observation. We can see last week this stock performed really well as expected. It actually came down to my expected price actually on Monday and Tuesday of last week. So it had 2 really good opportunities to get into the stock, get it at a really good price below true value. You can see by Friday how it pushed up pretty strong. So a lot of investors are pulling back into this one. I believe this week is another great opportunity to get in. I believe for me, Vuzix, a great price to get in this week is $5.93. Based on today, looks like a little bit of a pullback, but I think it's still very strong and still has an opportunity to kind of pull back down. And so I'd say $5.97. I said 93 cents. I'm sorry, $5.97 for me is where I'm going in with Vuzix, with an opportunity this week of a $7 and $7 to a $7.60 price point by Friday. So it's a pretty good price point. $5.97 is where I'm going in with Vuzix this week. All right. Moving on to the next one. I've got Nikola back on the list. So too bad Daz is not on here this week with me. For those who have followed the videos early on in the year, I had called out Nikola a couple times, and he was not a fan favorite of this stock, but it's back on the list this week. A great opportunity to get back in. And so it comes in at a trend of a 2, which is a decent upward trend. About a 94 cents overpricing on it right now. True value coming in at $7.93. And so let's look at Nikola on the charts. And let's see what this chart is showing us for Nikola. So 1 year, 1 day, you see a lot of a lot of downtrending on Nikola. Just looking at the green SMA, which is a simple moving average, you can see a straight downward line, which is a downtrend. And so early on in the year, great opportunities to get in and make some money in the short term. It did have a pretty strong pullback. A couple of things I want to pull out on this stock price. I've got two arrows here showing manipulation on the downside. And those two manipulation bars have not been covered, meaning that you had a lot of investors buy in at this price. And at some point, it has to come back and cover this price for those investors to make money. And so you see a lot of volume coming in on these 2 days, buying in at price range around the 939, 984 range. And so I would expect that price point to come back there sometime in the near future. I do think in this week, you can see Monday did have a pretty flat day from open to close. But I think this week you can get in at a price point of $7.76 with the opportunity to get out around the $8.66 range. So going in with Nikola this week, again, another one that does have some historical trend. I did want to point this out as well. So going back about a year, you see where this stock was down on the SMA, pulled up bullish, the EMAs, the teal and green crossed the red, blue, and you can see how the stock kind of popped off pretty good over the course of a month. So I see a great opportunity again, very similar situation here. It did cross over last week. The teal crossed over the green, the red, and the blue. And we see the same kind of bullish action in the MACD. And so I think there's an opportunity for this one historically to kind of follow this pattern here. Again, a lot of it depends on the sentiment of the investors and how they feel about this company. But I believe there's some opportunity for sure this week and probably the next couple of weeks. So going in with Nikola this week at a price point of $7.76 as a good buy point for me. $7.76. It's my call out for Nikola this week. All right, moving on to the next one, more of a longer term play. Aerojet Rocketdyne was another company that popped up last week on the radar. We'll show what it did last week and actually show what it's going to do potentially this week. Coming in at a trend of a 2, which is a decent trend again, 55 cents over price, about true value of $38.72. Aerojet Rocketdyne is a military-based company. They deal with defense weapons. And so looking at Aerojet Rocketdyne. So let's look back at the call outs for last week. Great opportunities to get in at very good prices. Came down to my price point 2 days last week. So looking at Monday, so Tuesday, Wednesday. Great opportunities to get in, pretty low prices. You see Thursday and Friday. It came right up to where I expected it to be last week. And so a good call out, a great movement in this stock. Investors are really making sure that this one is going to be around for a little bit. I believe this is one again that Lockheed Martin was in the process of attempting to buy and pulled out for whatever reason. So you can see continuation into Monday, a strong price action coming in. And so I see, again, all of the projected EMAs pulling up strong, and the teal's already crossed over. So it's kind of going bullish here, which is a great sign. I do see a little bit of a pullback in the MACD, pullback in volume. And so we'll see how that looks and works out. Again, this one trades on the New York Stock Exchange. So could see a little pullback this week. I do think there's an opportunity to get in this week at a $38.40 price point, with the opportunity to get out $39.82 in this week. I project holding on to it. You can still has room to climb. Again, the SMA projected line is here. So again, the stock wants to pull back into the SMA when it's below. When it's above the SMA, wants to pull back down below the SMA. So this one's strongly below the SMA, and so I expect it to want to cross the SMA. Hopefully, I would say in the next couple of weeks, easily, this company seems to be moving in a great trajectory upwards. So I would go with Aerojet this week at $38.40 with a projected get out point again this week at $39.82 to the $39.92 range. So $38.40 is what I'm going with this week. All right. Next on the list, FedEx. So FedEx is pulling in strong this week, moving at a trend of a 2. It's a little bit overpriced at $3.24. A true value of $215.67 is where the price point true value is. And so let's see what FedEx shows for this week. There is a great opportunity, I believe, to get in under true value. So looking at a 1-year, 1-day chart, you can see FedEx has been beaten up pretty good since May of last year. Kind of had a pullback up in October, and then it pulled back and showed resistance on the SMA. So it didn't push through the SMA. The reason why it didn't do that is because it's in the cake range here. So it wanted to kind of stay in that range. So it resisted the SMA, pulled down strongly out of the cake, and now it's trying to pull back into the SMA. So just had a recent earnings report here, estimated of $4.69 per share, actual $4.59. So it lost a little bit on its estimation versus actual, but nonetheless, investors came in very heavy the day after with about 9 million shares buying in around the range of $219. So, and that was Friday. So look at Monday, today, see a lot of price action here, went really bullish today. And so looks like the price is starting to want to pull back up. It's not a full bullish pattern or bullish flag yet into FedEx. I do see the MACD moving pretty strong upward. I am seeing little concern here with this pulling up stronger the rest of this week. But I do think there is an opportunity. This one trades on the New York Stock Exchange as well. I do think there's an opportunity for this one to fall down some this week, potentially getting in at $212.80 with an opportunity to get out around the $221. So I'm going in with FedEx this week. I'll feel comfortable getting in at $212.80. $212.80 is where I'm going in with FedEx this week. All right. Next on the list, Hewlett-Packard. So Hewlett-Packard Enterprises coming in at a flat trend. So it's not moving up or down, just kind of moving flat across the charts. 56 cents overpriced right now at a price point or true value of $16.48. So that's the true price for it. And it's a little bit overpriced, and we'll see what the charts will show us. And I think there's some opportunity in Hewlett-Packard Enterprises. So last week I pulled out Hewlett-Packard Incorporated, or HPQ is the ticker, but this one is HPE, and it's on the New York Stock Exchange. So I believe it's pretty much very similar companies, just different probably a different corporate structure. So one of the things I like to pull out of this one thing I noticed. So this one is, if you zoom out real quick, it's very heavily over the cake range, so which is very risky to go long term into a stock that's in this range. It has a very, very predictable day trading pattern, and you can kind of see what's going on here. So I really like what I'm seeing there. So I do see, I'm zooming in a little bit too close. So I do see how it's been resisted at the $17.58 2 times. Well, actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, sorry. And then I'll see where it's also been resisted at the $17.21 quite a few times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and today makes 6. Now I did put this out here yesterday, believe it or not. And so, but looking at today, it did resist again at this point. So I think it's kind of at a pullback, looks like. And so I think this one's kind of high as far as in price point. And I would definitely not buy this stock in any of this range. In a best case opportunity, this is another one that trades on the New York Stock Exchange. If the New York Stock Exchange does come down quite a bit, Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe Thursday, I do think there's an opportunity to get in at $16.32. It could keep pushing up and tap off at this and then get resisted back down. So I'm looking at Friday, the price for this one being somewhere around the 1686 range to the 1663 range. Slim chance it could come down to 1632, but I would definitely not buy it anywhere above that. So my price point for Hewlett Packard Enterprise, which is a long shot, is 1632 this week. $16.32 this week. All right. Next on the list, Matterport. So Matterport is a kind of like an AR VR, and they have this patented camera that does kind of like 3D VR images of homes, is what I've seen a lot of on their website. But they can do more than that. But typically for real estate agents, you see when they're selling houses, instead of having a picture of each individual room, they'll have one image that shows all rooms in one snapshot, which is pretty cool, a little different. But that's kind of what their kind of go-to business model is. So moving at a trend, a flat trend this week, about 75 cents over price, coming in at a true value of $7.52. So let's look at the charts on Matterport and show you what I'm seeing there. So looking at a 1 year, 1 day, a lot of volatility, a lot of manipulation in the stock price. And one thing I do want to point out, since June of last year, you can see this trend on volume, just really, really incredible rise. And you can see the price action kind of follow that same upward trend. You do see a high of $37.60 on December 1st. And at that point, it started to pull down. You still saw a lot of volume coming in. So a lot of investors buying in that you can see around the $16 range. And so that makes me very comfortable saying that, again, as I pointed out with Nikola, a lot of manipulation to push the price down to get in at cheaper prices. And naturally, you'll see that price want to pull back and cover these ranges. So a stock price typically covers itself back and forth. That coverage may take weeks to make happen. It may take months in a lot of cases. But the two things you'll want to look at is a wide, what I call a stick, a long bar, which is what I call a stick, which is a sign of manipulation, and then a lot of volume. So you see those two combinations together will allow you to know that that is a strong manipulation in price. So you see a lot of volume coming in at 37 million the day after earnings call that they had on February 16th. So they were estimated to lose 57 cents per share. They actually lost only 10 cents per share. And so the next day you see 37 million shares come in, buying the stock at, looks like $6.49. So what that means is that price is not going to stay there very long. And you see it dip down to $5 and it comes back up. And so there's a lot of investors that are already making money off this stock, what I'm getting at, in less than a month. And so again, you see a lot more manipulation happening, specifically on this day in January, around the $10 range. A lot of volume. You're looking at 15 million shares coming in there, looking at 23 million shares coming in on the 27th at the $9 range. So that all goes to show, with all that being said, goes to show that there's an opportunity for this one to get back into that same $9, $10 range. And so looks like by Friday, there's a potential for it to get into $10. My best estimation is by Friday, the stock price will be around the $8.38 range to the $9.29 range. So you see today, Monday, the stock price being resisted by this kind of a trend channel that I've got here. And so it could continue to explode up. It does trade on the Nasdaq, which is a sign, if I think the Nasdaq is going to go up this week, that this could follow that same upward trend this week. So maybe too late to get into this one at a low price or under true value, but I think there still may be an opportunity, and I'm going to strike on that opportunity if it does come down to the $7.04 range. That's where I'll be waiting to buy it. If it stays high, I'll just let it rock, let it keep going, but I'm not going to buy it over true value. That's just not what I believe in. And so I'll wait till it comes down and take my chances at the, what would I say, $7.04, really it's $7 range. Let's get the exact $7 even. So I'm gonna go in at Matterport at $7 even. I'll put an alert out, and if it hits $7, I'm going to be watching, waiting to buy. I think it's a great opportunity to get into this one early on. And who knows, this one may be another one that is a game player in the metaverse. Who knows? All right, next on the list, Luminar Technologies. I called this one out. Not sure what week that was in, maybe week 10, no, maybe week 9, something like that, maybe further back than that. So this one is they are a electric vehicle camera company. So they do electric vehicle camera systems for things that help self-drive electric vehicles. So they're into that area of the business. And so they're coming in at a trend of a 0 at a 87 cents over price point. So they're a little bit pricey right now for that stock price. The true value and a good price for that and the right price for that is $13.52 in my opinion. And so let's go to Luminar Technologies and see what opportunities they present to us. It has it's got a pretty cool ticker name as LAZR, which I call laser. So I see a lot of volatility and a lot of manipulation in the stock going back to December of 2020. That's not the right year. That's 2020. 2020. Looking at 2021, you do see a lot of manipulation in November of 2021. And so it's been on a downtrend for quite a while. A lot of volume coming in, buying, and overpricing the stock. 72 million shares being traded on the 19th of November. You see a continued downtrend since then. But there's a nice little pattern developing here on the SMA, or right under the SMA. I have a kind of a resistance line that I've seen being tapped a couple times. So once here, pretty close here, twice, three. So 3 times it's been tapped for sure. Thinking that there's another opportunity to tap on that and hopefully push through the SMA this time. It hasn't actually touched the SMA, but it's been very close to it. And so nice little opportunity here as Monday has shown a little bit more volume coming in. And you can see this being above the EMA. The price action happened above the EMA. The EMA has already crossed the green EMA, and then you can see the green cross the red, and they're going to attack the blue. So we'll see how that looks this week. I think a great price point, a great opportunity to get into laser this week. I believe this week you could get in around the 1348 range, and that's real close to true value, but just underneath. And I think this one could take off easily to be into the $15 range, or 1580 range, 1512 to 1580 range this week. So I'm going in with Luminar Technologies, what I like to call laser, at 1348 this week if it falls down to that price. So that's my call out for laser, 1348. All right. And last but not least on the list this week, another company I've called out in the past, TSRI. And so TSRI is moving at a flat trend. It does have a nice day trading pattern. It's about 4 cents overpriced, coming in at a true value of $9.14. So let's look at TSRI and see what I'm seeing on the charts. Again, another stock that has a lot of volatility and a lot of manipulation, but it does have a nice day trading pattern. It's not a heavy volume stock. You do see this one day on January 11th where 38 million shares were traded in this one day, and the price action went from a low of $10.57 to a high of $14. So a lot of manipulation on that day, and the price continued to jump in the next couple of days after that. But since then, pretty much since February 1st, it's been on a pretty strong downtrend. So when I called it out, it was actually the week of January 19th, and actually continued to move up a couple weeks after that. So another great opportunity, I feel like, looking at the stock price, how it's moving. EMAs are getting closer together. The teal has crossed the green, looks like it crossed the green back down. So looking at it today, it actually came down a little bit below my price point. So you see that MACD starting to pull up. So I believe great opportunity to get into TSRI this week. I'll be looking forward to getting into it because it's already below my price point. So I might be able to get in a little cheaper. But I definitely feel comfortable getting into TSRI this week at $8.89. That is a good price. Get in probably even a little better price at $8.78 if you can get in that price tomorrow. Or another point this week. So I think TSRI can get to, by Friday, get to the $9.31 to the $9.70 range. So that's a pretty good percentage return, looking at 5%. It's not bad at all. So I would look to get into TSRI, again, a good price point. And it's already fallen below that price, but $8.89 is my price point for TSRI. All right. So that's it for plays of the week, week 12. I do have a better feel that the market we might be in the clear for a little bit. We'll see this week if things will continue upward. Again, we're still waiting for a couple of the EMAs to cross each other on the Nasdaq. I do think the New York Stock Exchange will see a little bit of a pullback this week. But I think we might be out of the worst point in the market that we've seen, and we'll kind of see what type of great prices will come out, what good stocks will be available to go get. So when the market does turn back strong bullish, there'll be a lot of money to be made. So look forward to some more videos from me, and thank you all for joining me.